welcome to Supernatural Entertainment System, your number one source for supernatural news, discussion, and of course, frights. I'm Gav.
I'm Philip.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jerry.
That's 7 episodes in, boys.
Yes.
We're one episode away from where we were before.
We're so close to the end that we might have to take a mid-season break.
Well, maybe not a mid-season break, but maybe,
A break from the standard procedure, shall we say?
Off the beaten path of podcast.
It's time to take this into the dark wilds of the unknown.
Indeed. Supernatural Entertainment System Special Investigations Unit.
Correct. SNESSIU.
Not this episode, of course.
No.
Because we're still getting into the meat and potatoes, the mamas and the papas, right now. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Goals. And just like that, we're back. We're back in the room.
Scarily, we're back.
How's everyone been since the last we recorded?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good, man. Listen, do you want to tell me, I'll tell you, sorry, a little bit about what's happening with me
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
in a section we call Extra Personal Perception.
If you would.
I've got an empty this week.
Aye. She's left you.
And she's
gone.
Out of my life. My good lady Lindsay's away with work until Friday, I think.
Yeah,
What's
where is she?
new, Pussycat?
Well, this is it. Well, the cat's away.
Where
know.
exactly is she?
Calzone.
Can't tell you that.
Yeah, no, where is she?
Can't tell you.
I can't, man. You don't know?
I killed her, man. I can't quite exactly remember where she is. She's a couple hours away.
Castle Douglas. Who knows?
Aye, so anyway, got raunchy last night.
Yeah.
12:30, I was still up.
Oof.
Work night. School night, I was up.
Yeah? What were you up to?
Did a washing
Yeah.
on my new washing machine.
Single man.
Did you do this? Was that a slow wash?
Slow wash, 30 degrees.
Oh, yeah, man. Keep on.
I got a new washing machine. Let me take you through some of the features. Eco-friendly modes. It's 50% faster and quieter than the previous machine. It's an 8 kilogram load. 30 degree washing under 30 minutes, so
That's pretty quick.
quid's in.
Can I stop you a second?
Uh-huh.
You said it's 50% quieter than your previous machine. Now, is that based on the model and make of your previous machine?
Yes, indeed.
How did you manage to measure the decibel level of each?
AO.com, man, gives you everything you need to know.
That's very interesting.
This podcast is brought to you today by AO.com. They gave us our first £10 to us.
Let's take a minute to talk about AO.com.
It's probably a good point to remind our readers that they can sponsor a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. For
Good idea. Just a mere
£10.
£10.
All you do is
Shine
make
it
a
real nice.
check payable out to Chris Chalmers, send it to me, and I'll probably remember to mention it.
Aye, maybe. Chris, speaking of Chris Chalmers, what have you been up to?
A ghost smashed my phone.
A drunk,
Right.
angry ghost.
Right,
Yes.
okay.
I don't know how I'm working the ghost in here, but yeah, I smashed my phone. I'm
You
pretty
smashed your
pissed off
fucking
about
phone.
it. Yeah.
Man, look, it's never good. I've never smashed my phone.
Was
But
it one of those ones where you're trying to grab it and it's just falling through your fingers like a wet banana and then it just falls to the
It
ground?
wasn't even like that. Went to pick it up. It slipped out of my hand from maybe a foot off the ground.
shit.
Hit the ground. Not even a concrete floor. It hit a wooden floor. And I picked up. I was like, it broke.
Rob.
With that, it was done.
A
What
sobering
fresh bullshit
silence.
is this?
Exactly.
Jeez, I'm sorry to hear
And
that,
with
man.
that, it was done. So look after your phones.
Care
Cherish
for your
every
phones, man.
moment
Don't take them
because
for
just like
granted.
that, it can be gone.
Just like that, you can just phone a guy and get a brand new one
Oh, I did.
sent to you in 2 days.
It's arriving tomorrow.
Moral of the story is just make sure you work for a phone company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
If you're going to break your phone, definitely work for a phone company.
Definitely.
Jebble, what have you been up to?
It'll take off eventually.
Trying not to laugh myself so that no one else would laugh.
Yeah.
So that it would just go unnoticed.
And
But I
they'll do
couldn't
that.
make it.
One day I'm signing a bank card, gerbil.
Christmas cards.
My car spookily, like, I felt like a ghost kicked it. I was at the lights. I was like, bang! What was that? I shat myself. You see people on the street looking at the car, and it was a spring burst. So it was a spooky spring burst. I got new hipstery glasses, which will be here soon.
Oh, okay.
Big comedy frame ones. Real embarrassed in 4 years in photographs. Kind of
Yeah.
Do you think you'll not wear them when you're watting telly with us and really
Yeah,
squint
that's
at the
it. It's
telly
just a
then?
different pair of glasses.
Have you
not
got
to
much
wear.
larger ones so that you remember to pick them up and put them onto your face?
Yeah. I'm going to get one of those little things that go in the back of your ears that hold them on, so you
Nice.
never have them off.
Nice.
That's good, man. That's a good idea.
Are
I
these
think
your project management glasses?
Yeah, that's
Is that what
it.
you're calling them?
For your new job.
PM glasses, that's what it is, man. PM Dawn glasses, tiny little ones.
Oh,
been
you should
getting-
get those ones that join in the middle with a
Oh,
magnet.
yes, they are
That'd be
cool.
good.
What about those ones they used to have in the 90s where you could flip them up?
Yes.
Oh, they're
shit.
good.
They were cool as fuck, man.
They were cool as fuck,
Yeah.
man.
And
So cool.
my pal had a little girl,
Oh.
baby girl. So shout out to baby Kirsty.
Oh,
We'll be
Jason.
receiving a birthday card with a download code for all the SNES episodes on our 5th birthday.
one.
So
Really?
happy 5th birthday, Kirsty, when you listen to this.
Look, I also had a similarly spooky experience with a car.
Shut up.
I was at the tip. I was at Paul Maddy tip, right?
All right, that tip.
Getting
Paul
rid of some
Maddy?
wood. And getting rid of some wood. And
What happened to us, man?
No, exactly. You should be like, I was drunk at the weekend. Now it's like,
it's a proper
my phone.
supernatural experience.
I did a washing.
There was a loud bang in my car, and at the same time, I felt £90 magically disappear from my bank account. And it was true. It happened. Took it to the garage, and they said there was nothing wrong with it, but we did tests, and you've still got to pay for that.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
90 quid?
Yeah, just to run some tests. Talk about supernatural.
Fuck
Those
off,
boys are making money up here.
I'll tell you what, they're
Yeah.
as white as a sheet when they tell me.
Listen, that's
what you
enough
get for-
boring
Aye.
old bastard now.
Aye.
I feel
that's bold
it's
old
been
bastard,
bold old
like.
bastard news this week, isn't
Has
it?
been, well, nobody's done anything exciting.
That's not true. I got a new washing machine.
Oh, man.
Do you remember the eco
Like,
features?
I think we should start just making shit up. Like, I fought a horse at the weekend.
I think the rest of the show will be enough made up shite anyway.
That's reality. Now on to fiction.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
Oh, absolutely. It's your right.
You're right.
It's your right as an African American woman.
So let's just do it. Nuzz.
Right, so we thrilled the world with what's happened to each of us in the last 2 weeks. What's been happening out there in the wild world, though?
Listen, I've got something I want to just tell you about.
Please do.
It's a wee story that I'm calling Any Old Negative Iron. Scrap dealer Chris Ward has reported sightings of a strange lady in the storeroom of his Birmingham business. This is a very recent story. He reported several examples of frightening phenomena, including plunging temperatures, poltergeist activity, and damage to his goods. Recently, they had a flood that was caused by a smashed toilet where nobody was on the premises. How did that smash? Ghosts.
Obs.
So now he's looking in to call a medium to discover which tormented soul is trapped among the broken motors. The 51-year-old said, I think twice about going up there at night, and one guy refuses to go up altogether. One of the customers came out completely white-faced. He claimed something had came out of the wall. Something had came out of the wall. He posted up the picture on the company's Facebook page. There's a picture of this thing. He said a few suggestions from local mediums, such as Julie Topham. She says, it's a boy, such a sad soul. He was very hungry and left to fend for himself. He got trapped and burned in a fire.
Fucking bad luck.
I know. Apparently, when the building's previous owners came and they paid a visit, the first thing they asked him, have you seen the ghost? So they knew about it as well.
Didn't
So
tell me that before I bought
I
it,
know.
though, did he?
Well, exactly. Buyer beware. Caveat
Emptor.
your sell. So I'm just going to pass this around here, this picture, which you can see on geshcast.com.
Genuinely shiting myself.
Brace yourself because it's fucking ridiculously scary.
Foley work here. Ooh,
I see that.
that's kind
See that wee
of...
face?
That's weird. Is it in this big red circle?
No, that's not the one you're looking for.
All right. Oh, fuck. That's pretty freaky, man.
Right,
Christopher?
don't bogart the scariness, Jerry. Pass it
I
on.
know. Pass the
Scream, scream, pass, as they say.
press the
Nice.
bogey on the right hand
Could
side.
have been a KKK member.
Let me have a
does.
bloody good look here. Oh!
It does look like a hood, though,
It's hood-esque.
coming down from above.
It looks quite like Jason Voorhees.
It does.
Voorhees.
Maybe you've heard of him.
And this is also adding into my new feature, which is called the Black Zodiac.
Yes.
Anyone who has a passing resemblance, any beasts, any phantoms, spooks or spectres that bear any passing resemblance to any of the beasts in 13 Ghosts, the best horror film ever made, will be entered into my Black Zodiac of news. So this time, much like Morris Breaker Mahoney from 13 Ghosts, the Juggernaut, who lived in a scrappy,
He did live in a square.
this ghost from Birmingham will be entering into my own Black Zodiac of news.
And that's the second of the Black Zodiac to appear just this 1 year.
That's true. We had, what was the other one we had?
The torso.
The
appearing
torso.
on Blackpool Beach.
torso.
That's right. So we've got the torso and the Juggernaut.
Jimmy the Gambler Gambino.
Jimmy the Gambler Gambino.
Who knows?
Jerry, you still not seen 13 Ghosts?
Still not seen it.
Jesus.
Still not seen it.
Next week.
Next week. I think, yes. Do you want to do that instead of... Because we watched Ghost Watch. We'll have movie night next time.
Yes.
And we'll watch 13 Ghosts
13
beforehand.
Ghostmen.
Oh, fair. Is
Ready?
it a scary film? Is it a
Aye,
novelty?
it's scary.
Is it actually?
Aye, it's scary.
Aye.
It's got a red digger in it.
It's got Rad Digger in it. The best thing ever, mate. Like, we're just looking up and it's like, there's this woman in it and she's a rapper, and she's not a rapper in the film, but she's a rapper who is making a move into acting. And you're just watching it, and you're like, it's like featuring Rah Digger. You're like, who the fuck is Rah Digger? Like, that's a shite paper from Glasgow. But yeah, it's incredible. Next episode, we'll get Jerry's frank and honest opinion on 13 Ghosts.
Happy days.
Gavin, are you aware of Zach Braggins?
Zach Braggins.
Maybe you've heard the name. Fans of the paranormal know him as the presenter of Ghost Adventures.
Oh, I love Ghost
I
Adventures.
do, yeah,
Yes.
that guy, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Right, okay.
One ballsy character when it comes to investigating the undead.
Yeah, he doesn't have our principles, but
He has no scruples. He's not afraid to make stuff up, unlike us who are not willing to make
Yeah, it's
stuff
all
up, as
facts.
you heard by the news earlier. However, he has hit the news recently because he has bought third-hand the the murder wagon of one Jack Kevorkian.
Oh, my God.
That's right.
has he?
The
Okay.
assisted suicide superstar.
Yeah, my
Jack
God.
Yeah.
Kevorkian. His van in which he used to perform his mercy killings.
The Mercy Mobile.
Hang on, wait a minute. Jack Kevorkian did Mercy Killings in a van.
In a van.
That's not what I expected.
Kind of in a house, man. Then there's a murder scene.
I thought it was all, like soft music and stuff. So he's like,
It's a nice van.
As he puts headphones in.
I say, put the stereo up.
30 G's. Investigator Zach Braggin threw down. Let's just have a wee side by side.
West Coast Custom.
That's a real part of history as well for 30 grand. That's
Yeah, it
not
really
bad.
is, eh?
I mean, he's a very lucky guy.
I mean, let's not beat about the bush. He's a lucky fella.
There's the two of them there. They're
Oh.
very similar in appearance.
Jack Kevorkian, of course.
There it is.
Oh, look at the murder van.
Oh, that looks good.
The murder wagon. If this van's a knocking,
Well, there we go. Look, I mean, Jack Kevorkian helped people die in their homes, motels, and in the back of the van. Pictures being towed away in 1996.
it's quite sad. But now this guy's got it, obviously looking to try and interact with some of those poor people who died of horrific things.
that van looks like he helped teenage students, like female teenage students, to die in the back of that van.
To lose their
There's
virginity
nothing
and die.
there's nothing that says mercy killing from someone with terminal illness about that van.
No.
That says free hugs.
How
Oh, man.
good is Zach Braggins? Let's have another look at Zach
know,
Braggins. Look at him there.
That's good.
So intense.
I'd be bragging if I looked like that.
Exactly.
Jerry, what motor do you think you would use to kill people in?
Is it a mercy killing or a kind of like what kind of
Well, it depends. One, your perspective on the matter, and two, theirs.
But I would only ever do a mercy killing.
You don't ever do a mercy killing.
Yeah.
So let's mercy
And
killing.
somebody that
Yeah.
wanted it.
They're into it.
They're into it. Well, hang on.
I
is this-
consensual Mercy
was this
killing.
a- vehicle.
Is this a weird German they're into it thing? Is this like, yeah, I'm into it? Or is this like, somebody coughing?
I think they're like, yeah, I'm coughing, get me into a coffin. Exactly.
Coughing squared.
Yeah.
I had something tasteful.
Skoda Octavia.
Renault Scenic.
Something big, like a
People carrier.
what's it?
An insignia, man.
Transit.
Oh,
A black
insignia.
black
Right.
diesel
An
insignia.
insignia.
A black diesel insignia,
Yeah,
you're right.
exactly.
What about a Vauxhall Belmont? A big
Because of the
Vauxhall
whole Simon
Belmont.
Belmont connection.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly.
what I
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
But then an estate car has got all you need to carry a body.
mean. Have you considered this, Jerry?
I've not thought of this.
You're going to get pulled
Maybe an
over.
estate car.
You're going to get
It's
pulled over.
very hearse-like.
So there you go.
I wish we had rehearsed this podcast.
I have some news.
Go for
I
it.
have some news.
Please save us.
An unexplained pair of hands, this is real high stuff, this, has appeared in photographs taken by two separate cameras in Borneo. The peculiar disembodied hands, which have been likened to The Thing
Oh.
from Adam's Family, were picked up in images taken at the base of Mount Kinbalu in Malaysia.
The thing,
The Thing.
as he's never known in the Addams family.
What gets, right, the thing is, when you see this photograph, right, so there's like, this is a photograph of people shaking hands in front of some plaque,
Okay.
and there are extra hands in the photograph.
Right.
But it's where the hands are and what they're doing, and the kind of vague bulge in the guy's trousers that's at the epicenter of all this. So,
Right, I'm into this.
So I'll give you like this. This will be on geshcast.com. So there's the wide shot. So just a bunch of guys, glad handing, probably in
Yep.
front of some sort of thing, a fundraise for or something.
Nice.
Okay.
A lot of double denim.
Right? A lot of double denim. And this guy in the Canadian tuxedo here, my friend. Look at this zoomed in.
I shite my cousin's face.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, where'd that
That's a
come from?
definite.
So there's like extra, right? There's like extra spooky fingers
Oh my goodness.
reaching for that
Grasping.
man's.
And they're both groin based.
Yeah, they're very groin based.
That boy does have a semi-robot chubby.
Yeah, and he's got a ghosty hand coming for him. So I like that he's enticed the dead to
Yeah.
come and feel him up. So that, ooh.
Do you think
Man.
there's something in double denim that entices ghosts closer to the groin?
Just the sheer magnetism of it, the
Yeah.
sheer 80s masculinity of it.
Then he's ever had I know Chris has, because I've known Chris pretty much my entire life. But denim jacket,
No.
no.
I had denim jacket many years ago.
Should we get them? Should we get like Supernatural Entertainment System denim jackets?
I'd love a denim jacket. I don't know what it is. I don't think I'd suit it.
With bullet holes in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, those spikes on the
Would you take the sleeves off?
on the shoulders. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'd never wear it open. I'd always close it.
This is more of a denim vest.
Yep. More of a denim vest.
That's a good choice.
Any other
Definitely
news?
Jerry's toes there.
I have news. So, the Chinese stock market has crashed. Obviously, we're blaming ghosts.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, the Chinese stock market crashed, and
I like to think someone's like, what?
it's fallen like 6.7% in one day.
It's a lot of percent.
Most people thought that it was Chinese ghosts.
Right.
So apparently, it's Ghost Month in Buddhism and Taoism. It's the Hungry Ghost Festival.
Oh,
And,
The Hungry Ghost Festival?
Yeah.
it's fun by the ton.
And this is the time when ghosts roam the land from the gates of hell, because the gates of hell are open during this week. So
I know. I like that we pause there. Goes from the land, from the gates of hell.
the gates of hell. So during this time, the Chinese believe that it's not prudent to make any big changes. So no new jobs, no house moves, no new investments.
Okay.
So is this ghosts, or is this people's belief in ghosts? Well, it's neither. The stock market performs absolutely fine every other year. It's just a blip,
Just a blip.
a blip. So
Thanks for that.
was this actual ghosts?
No.
Well,
I love the finance desk. I think you need to man the finance desk from now on.
okay.
What's happening in the cack current?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
L'Esprit.
So that's news. Everyone.
That's shitty news.
Jesus Christ. I tell you what, sorry readers for this whole show.
Just
so
like the
far.
Chinese stock market, we have crashed and ended the news segment. So, look, it's time to move on
Please.
to the meat
God.
and potatoes of this episode.
Exactly. The mamas
Gavin.
and papas.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what's going to happen?
So, the reason we're here, each of us, we bring an example of a paranormal phenomena from around the world, and using our patented pentacle system, we're going to determine which of these four beasts is best. But the pentacle system itself, hard to gauge sometimes.
Hey,
People say to
look.
me all the time, Gavin, can you tell me about the pentacle system? And I say, of course, but
Not a problem.
not a problem, but why don't you get it? What's wrong with you?
Why do you always ask?
It's a 5-pronged point system, which includes categories like physical strength. How strong is this thing? Could it lift an Apache helicopter and throw it clean over the Bridge of Dawn? Could it open a pack of Lidl's own crisps without a pair of fucking scissors? That's physical strength.
Murderousness. We're talking about body count. Let the bodies hit the gore.
Yeah.
All right. What's this thing's kill to death ratio? Murderousness.
Disgustery. How disgusting is this beast? Does it turn your stomach like seeing your grandparents' French kiss?
And influence. If after filming Ferris Bueller's Day Off, this shithead ghost was on holiday in Belfast, and say that it somehow drove a car on the wrong side of the road, killing a mother and daughter, but it somehow managed to get off with £100 fine, then that ghost would have influence.
And of course, the wild
The wild card.
a randomly chosen element which could either help or hinder your beast. Chris, will you please tell us what has been chosen from the black sack?
So Phil earlier rolled
Hello.
some chicken bones,
So I'm shaking.
and you came up with a
bones.
number.
17.
It wasn't 17. It was 9, Phil. It was 17 last week.
Was it?
Yes.
It was 9, everyone.
It was 9.
Lol.
Oh,
Which is fun.
Fun.
I agree.
Fun.
So what did it? What was chosen?
Bet you're glad you're listening, readers.
Fucking lol to the maximum.
So it's fun. So How fun is it?
How much of a laugh can you
How
have with
much
it?
of a giggle is
How
it?
much of a chuckle? How much of a Barry chuckle? How much of a chuckle vision? How much of a vision? How much of a viz can you have
How much of a V?
with this? How much of a V?
This beast.
Of with this beast. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the stories.
So first up to bat is Chris.
Yeah! So, today I have Sedlak Ossuary. So, otherwise known as the Church of Bones. Basically, it's a small Catholic chapel beneath the cemetery of the Church of All Saints in the Czech Republic.
Never ever have it ever.
So, it's an ossuary. First question is, what the fuck's an ossuary?
That's where you put birds into it.
Aye. Once they're dead.
Oh.
So an ossuary is a chest or box, building, well, or site made up to serve as the final resting place of human skeletons. They're frequently used where burial space is scarce. A body is first buried in a temporary grave. Then, after some time, it's dug up, removed, and placed upon an ossuary, which is basically a room where the bones sit. The greatly reduced space taken up in the ossuary means it's possible to store a lot more human remains. Great. So, what's so special?
IKEA for bones.
Basically, IKEA for bones, yeah. So, what's so special about Sedlak Ossuary? So, it's got skeletons. It's got 40,000 to 70,000 skeletons in it.
That's a lot.
Not only that, so that's the equivalent of the Burning Man Festival in the USA.
Wow.
So that's 50,000 people
Just skeletons.
of skeletons. They're meat people, but skeletons they could once be. Not only that, but the bones have been arranged by an artistic hand. There's chandeliers made out of bones.
Yes.
A chandelier featuring every bone in the human body.
Yeah.
And loads of skulls. We need to look at pictures of this shit, actually. It's awesome. There are garlands of skulls. A garland is like, when you've got a string of flowers,
Yeah.
right, but skulls.
Like a Dalzine necklace.
Yep. In fact, exactly. A Dalsum necklace, yeah. There's also a coat of arms for the House of Schwarzenberg made out of bones. So, a bit of history about this. So, in 1278, one of the abbots went to the Holy Land and got some earth from Golgotha, which is the place of the skull, which is a metal name.
Yep.
He brought it back to Sedlak and sprinkled it upon the ground. When people heard this, they went batshit crazy and wanted to be buried here. So they were pure dying to get buried here. So it became the real place to be seen to be dead. Then, boom, 14th century, Black Death.
Oh, business is booming.
Oh,
Yeah,
for fuck's
exactly.
sake.
So that and a couple of wars, and they basically ran out of space. So they started building a church and built an ossuary underneath it. This is great. And then they tasked a half-blind monk with digging up the remains.
That's a bit shady.
It's a shady, shady job. So naturally, being half-blind, he just tossed them in there. So yeah, there was no real arrangement. So they hired a wood carver named Frankincense Rint, who was hired to arrange the bones, and he arranged them in this magnificent manner. Bones everywhere.
Which is a bit cheeky.
It's a bit cheeky.
If
It
you
doesn't
ask
say
me.
that he was pure paid to, do you know what I mean, make a big show of things.
There's also
Just really to put the skulls over there.
can you imagine if they
there's
did
over
that?
there.
If they did that now, and somebody said like, "Oh, come on, see what I'm doing, all these bones."
Aye, you'd be like,
Oh, bye bye.
the fuck?
What's that, Savile?
I mind I'm working at the cemetery over there, and you'd be like, "All right, brilliant. I need to come over and see." Like, "Oh, you should. Want to see what I've done?" And you'd be like,
Just the
"What
place
do you mean
up.
what you've done?"
Yeah.
Fucking big chandelier. Mind you ever seen you wanted a chandelier?
Well, the thing is, he's a wood carver, so maybe they were like, you can make like a cabinet for them.
Ah, well,
no,
out
he
of
made-
human remains.
Human
Make it
remains.
out of them.
So that's it. He made all this amazing shit, which we can have a quick look at, and he signed his work
Oh,
in bones.
very messy.
Natch, but yeah, let's pause it and have a quick look, and we can post some photos on the website. as well.
Absolutely.
Hey, we're back.
Oh, it's spooky.
They were delicious bones.
They're good bones.
They are very good bones.
Have a look at them dead bones. Well, have a look at Geshcast.com and you can see them dead bones.
I cannot wait for people to go to the website
Yeah.
So good.
Can we also put up that song, Gav?
We can. I'll put a link to
Yeah,
the
thanks.
song so you'll get probably
Damn,
10 jokes we've made. Also.
It's actually a
Jerry.
good song.
I bring the Mackenzie poltergeist. In December of 1998, a homeless man broke into one of the mausoleums of Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh to get away from a really bad storm. So he was creeping about inside it, and while he was creeping about, a hole opened up beneath him, and he fell through the floor of this mausoleum.
Yeesh.
He landed in a really deep pit that had been used for illegally dumping plague victims.
Fuck.
Yeah, excellent.
Right? So because they were sealed in, despite it being like hundreds of years old, the pit had remained well sealed, and the corpses were like putrefied. There wasn't just like
Was
dry
it still raining
skeletons. It was
as
like
well?
yeah, it was like a little, the green tree man at a 7. So anyway, the homeless guy quickly clambered out, shiting himself, and ran away. And as he ran out, the local kind of attendant clocked him, so they found places on. Anyway, so they shut up. But a few days later, a woman looking at the mausoleum was said to have been, quote, blasted back by a cold force.
Oh.
Another woman was found unconscious next to the mausoleum, her neck covered in bruises, as if she'd been strangled. Because of this, Edinburgh City Council sealed it up proper, and it remains sealed up to this day. There have been hundreds of incidents, said the Greyfriars volunteer who looks after the place. People have been bitten, scratched, kicked, pushed, they get burn marks, they feel sick, they feel cold. It's George Mackenzie.
It's absolutely George
It's
Mackenzie.
George
right
Mackenzie.
there.
The homeless man had broken into the Black Mausoleum, as it's known, the burial chamber of the 17th century judge Sir George Mackenzie, aka Bloody Mackenzie.
Nice.
It's estimated that he was responsible for the deaths of 18,000 people during a reign of terror now referred to as the killing time. He also had a habit of defending witches at trial and argued for torture as a just punishment. He's like Vigo, this guy.
Yeah.
In 1679, 3,000 Covenanters, religious types, basically weren't doing what they were told,
Right.
were captured and brought to Greyfriars. Under Mackenzie's orders, many were tortured and others were beheaded, and the dismembered heads were stuck around Edinburgh.
Yeah.
The remainder were kept next to Greyfriars Kirkyard in Mackenzie's open-air prison, which is the first concentration camp ever recorded. The 1,200 detainees died from starvation, disease or exposure. There have been more than 500 recorded incidents of the Mackenzie poltergeist attacking people since it was disturbed, but others have blamed it for suspicious fires in nearby buildings. In 2000, a priest named Colin Grant was asked to perform an exorcism in the kirkyard. To try and stem the reported attacks, he reported feeling overwhelmed by the tormented souls of the dead and eventually had to leave. Not long after, he snuffed his lid.
Jeez, oh.
Nice.
And that's the Mackenzie poltergeist.
That's scary.
Jerry, that's a chuckle fest. No, that's really fascinating. Why haven't I heard about that?
I know. I think Scotland in the 16th, 17th century just wasn't a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a lot of chuckles happening.
But
No, let's not be tasty. Come on.
Scotland boasts many things.
Yeah.
I didn't know the first concentration camp was
I
amongst
know.
them.
That was news to me. That should be on the money.
Scotland
Yeah,
invents
exactly.
everything. We're always on about penicillin.
Should be in the flag.
TV and all that.
Aye, the
Welcome
phone.
to Scotland. Concentration camps.
Oh, so pretty grim. So Bloody,
Right here.
Bloody Mackenzie, though.
Bloody
He's a judge
Mackenzie.
called Bloody Mackenzie.
The
It's like
killing time.
He sent in the Scolari brothers.
It's all good shit. I like that. I need to find out more about that actually, Jerry. We'll
Well,
talk,
look,
we'll talk
Well,
afterwards.
do you know where you can find
I
out
know.
more about
Tell
it?
me.
This is heavy duty.
Getchcast.com.
Let's go to getchcast.com.
Yeah, there'll be nothing on there about it, but from there you just go into Google.
Hey,
I'm feeling a little bit depressed after that.
yeah,
I think we need a wee break.
let's lighten things up
With some fun.
with some fun.
Okay.
The theme of today's episode is fun.
Yeah, that's true. After all. I have something to tell you all.
What's that?
Now, as ever, our readers come to our aid,
Yes, of course.
answering the single question survey provided, of course, by surveymonkey.com. I felt a little bad because we've been using that free service for so long.
Fuck 'em.
We asked them this one question, and I want to get your take on this. You can have one supernatural ability for the day. Do you choose invisibility? You can vanish at will. You can peek at people. Or you can move cups.
All of the above.
Is it limited to those actions?
This
Peeking
is,
and cup
this is
moving.
it, Jerry. I knew you'd be the one to fucking ask for the here's
The legalese.
this is the cunt that asks for fucking infinite wishes. You know
Small
what I mean?
print, man.
Exactly.
Set power 2, chocolate breath. Your breath will absolutely reek of dark, bitter chocolate, but you will not taste it personally.
That's all I do.
And 3, banana fingers. Your fingers will become 10 peelable, edible bananas. So let's go around the table here, Philip.
Definitely invisibility for me.
Invisibility?
Yeah, absolutely.
Weird. Okay. Christopher?
I quite like the sound of the dark chocolate, but what I need to know about the banana fingers, does it cause pain when I eat them?
No.
Do they grow back?
When after the day, your fingers will return.
Okay, so it basically means I've got
10 bananas.
10 bananas
A day
and
for
my
life.
fingers
For a day.
for a day.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
It sounds great. I'll take the chocolate breath.
Chocolate bread.
I'm gonna be mental and go for invisibility.
Invisibility.
Yeah, really, I know, just funny like that.
So safe.
It's so vanilla.
But our readers would agree with you. And almost a landslide here. We're talking invisibility was the chosen power by those safe vanilla fuckers that listen and read our podcast.
Don't
They've all
insult the
seen
readers.
Hollow, man. They know what they're doing. They know.
Anything else fun that anybody wants to bring up? Andy's going to like a fucking bring and buy sale or anything like that?
Did go to a car boot sale the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah, aye.
Any good?
No, it was rotten. It's been a while since I've been to such a thing.
Oh, I've got
Man.
a doctor's appointment coming up. Maybe.
I can get my teeth done. Listen, do you know what? We should make a consistent effort for next week to once again invite the supernatural back in our lives. I think we're
that's a
becoming
problem.
too jaded because we know so much about it now.
Yeah.
That we're no longer seeing the magical element of life.
We've seen how the sausage is made almost,
Exactly.
you know.
We need to start widening our eyes just a little bit more.
Accepting more sausage into our lives.
Yeah, just bringing it in. How about should we answer some Twitter questions?
That just reminds me
Realise.
of a hymn, you know, bringing in the sheaves.
Yeah.
My grandpa used to think it was bringing in the sheep. And we used to slag him unmerciful. It just made me laugh.
Good old Grandpa Spence.
Good old Davy. Did.
Look, man.
A ghost himself.
It's a fucking chuckle a minute.
I miss him.
Let's talk about my dead grand.
I miss my grandpa.
Right, enough. Let's answer some questions of the public.
For the love of God.
Guestcast. Do you know any good haunted castles or hotels I can stay in for Halloween this year within Scotland? Does anybody have any haunted castle recommendations? Here, how about Dalhousie Castle Hotel and Spa in Edinburgh? A stunningly luxurious and traditional hotel packed to the rafters with period features, antiques and relics. A very elegant building with a long and varied history and a number of ghostly spectres,
Shit.
says its website.
What about that hotel in that film with John Cusack? Like
Room-
14...
1429 or something.
Yeah.
Yes, that one's super haunted.
You could stay there. That's a thing.
That didn't really-
Is it?
Cabin in the Woods.
Saying that
Does
cabin
it definitely ask
would
for
you like to stay in
haunted-
Cabin in the Woods?
a haunted hotel?
Yeah.
It needs to be a haunted hotel.
Or castle. Yep.
Okay.
You got the answer?
clarifying and then be like, nah, I'll be not.
I'm thinking there's loads of haunted things you can go and see. Like there's.
Oh, aye. But no, he wants to spend Halloween in a haunted area.
Okay.
Are you
Well,
mental?
you're fucked.
You'll be killed.
Well, there is always Rossi Castle.
There's always Rossi
There is
Castle.
the Rossi Castle with the bloody stairs.
Those bloody stairs.
The bloody stairs.
stairs.
I'm
There's
not going
also-
up those bloody
There's
stairs.
also an extra one at the bottom. Fucking every time.
Well, I hope that helps at Godspeed_88.
Better glad you asked now.
I've had a question from Jim, the schoolgirl,
Oh, hey, Jim.
who says he saw ghosts and into a parallel dimension whilst on Magic Mushroom. Does this mean that I didn't see it? I think, if anything, drugs can only heighten your perception of the supernatural.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
all
true.
about perception at the end of the day. If you perceive something, then it is real to you. So,
It opens your third eye.
yeah, I would say no, it's not.
You're a
It's a
liar.
hallucination, you idiot.
Jim the schoolgirl / idiot / liar. Next.
Next is Lady Di a ghost?
I saw this one. I've got this down here from the BitSocket boys.
I don't think we can. We'd have to do an investigation. I think that could be
Well-
one of our special investigations. We could go over to Paris, stop the traffic, as we do anyway, and hang about in that tunnel, that fabled tunnel,
Look, there's two
where
options.
Lady Diana Spencer hit the wall. She has all the trademarks of somebody who would potentially become a ghost. She does have unfinished business.
Yep.
She was destroyed in a horrific manner by other people.
She was destroyed.
She liked wearing white, swishing about.
Exactly, that's true. And of course, she was killed in a conspiracy by our lizard queen.
Yes.
So
It all adds up.
it does all that.
Yes.
So I would say Lady Di is a
Yes,
ghost
is a
or is
ghost.
in hell.
Well, Lady Di, you can only be a
Jerry's
ghost.
face. We can get that on the website. I'd love to.
You can only be a ghost if you're not a
Infidelity.
lizard. Question is, was she a lizard?
I don't think. I think that's
You
why
don't
she was
think she
killed.
was a lizard?
I think that's why she was killed because of her lack of lizard DNA. Her DNA was strong enough
Yeah,
to withstand.
it wouldn't take.
It wouldn't take.
Okay.
That happens every once in 1,000 times.
Right, Supernatural Entertainment System, Special Investigations Unit. I say we go into the Princess Diana thing
Right, okay.
as our first one.
We'll go through all Paul
Agreed,
Barrow
Jerry.
stuff.
Agreed. Lady died.
Yeah, let's take this offline.
Duh.
Silent Jerry over there.
That's enough for the Twitter mailbag. Quite a controversial bunch this week.
Well, you might come back to it at the end of the show.
Ah,
We've
let's-
got a few more.
Dip back in.
Yeah. Okay, so with that being said,
Yeah.
let's get into the mamas and the papas.
Okay, man, I'll step up next with
Sure.
my beast, the Wawel Dragon of Poland.
Ah.
Maybe you know of it. Also known as the Dragon of Wawel Hill from Polish folklore. His lair was a cave at the foot of the Wawel Hill in the now capital of Krakow.
Ah, I see.
Yeah?
Nice.
You've all heard of it.
Don't even
Very
try and fucking
influential.
lie.
It's very fun there.
Don't even lie.
Tick, tick. During the reign of King Krakus, this mighty dragon used to run rampant throughout the land, killing maidens, destroying hay and woods, all the essential tenets of
Yeah,
people
cutting hay.
pissing all over it. Until they reached a decision, they were like, we'll stave off the dragon's attack by just pushing cattle towards the front of the cave each week, and that would be enough. The dragon would come out, "Rawr," breathe fire into the air, eat the cattle, and recede back into his lair, satiated for another week.
Sounds pretty good, to be honest.
Pretty good gig
Aye.
until they run out of fucking cattle.
Oh, man.
Nightmare scenario for King Krakus.
We've all been there. You've all been there.
You've all been there.
This is
Maybe
the
you've
one
heard of
thing
it.
we did not want to happen.
No more cattle. So he calls upon his two sons, both strong, handsome boys with the power to rock you. His sons Lech and Krakus too. The revenge.
Shit. You haven't still got the short end of the shit, the shitty end of the stick.
Which one was born first?
Who knows, man?
I name you Krakow 2. You can't go,
Krakus 2 and Lech.
can go for Krakus 3 now.
He was born
Poor
wringing his
fucking
hands and kind of going, oh, hello.
Hello, mum.
Krakus 2 and Dingleberry.
Put me back up there.
What a creep.
So he called upon his two sons to slay the wicked beast. They both discussed it with each other, like, look, there's no way we can fight this dragon head on. We're but mortal men. This is a fucking dragon we're facing.
You fucking idiot.
A city-destroying dragon against two mortal men.
We're like 4 bales of hay against this thing.
So they came up with a cowning plan.
Oh,
Oh,
Right? What they
sorry.
did was
What?
cowning. No. So the plan was to take the carcass of
Cunning.
a young calf
right.
and stuff it with sulphur
Right.
to bursting point.
And onion.
And the two of them hid behind a nearby rock, peeking over the side.
This is fucking Looney Tunes stuff.
The dragon came out
Golden cigar.
and consumed this sulphur-laden beast that lay before him. At that point, they leapt out from behind the rock, gave him the fingers as loud as they could, pulled
Vicky
minis
V's.
at him and all sorts.
The victory.
The dragon, enraged, reared his head back, about to let flame fly when the sulphur ignited, and it exploded into 1,000 pieces.
Oh my god.
So that wasn't, unfortunately, the end of the story. Lech and Krakus start to fight amongst themselves about who truly killed the dragon.
Right.
And Lech slew his brother, Krakus too.
Oofed.
Killed him down dead.
It's always
Didn't see
sad.
that coming.
Yeah, it's always
I thought
sad.
it would be.
Brothers fight.
He goes back to his dad. He's like, Dad, I killed the dragon. My brother, I'm sorry, was killed in the battle. Unfortunate, I know, but shit happens.
Yeah.
Years pass. Lech becomes king. And then it is found out. It comes out. I don't know how, but it just comes out.
They check the CCTV.
So he's
Rat
immediately
digger.
expelled from the city.
Oh.
And in memory of brave Krakus too, they named the city Krakow.
Oh wow.
And that's how it got its name.
That's pretty cool.
There we go.
There you go.
Nice story.
The Wawel Dragon.
My favourite bit was the IED.
There he is. No stop hiding.
That dragon's
There's the
good, man.
carcass.
The great
Oh,
dragon's just
carcass.
cutting along.
He's very grand. He has 7 heads,
He's
Oh, you didn't mention that.
7 heads, and a fell black skin. There you go. Any questions?
She snapped the elastic band of your book like a pair of pants.
He was also dead good fun at parties. Gavin,
I would like to take you guys on a little trip.
here we go.
I'm going to take you once again. We're going to embark on that trip to the African plains. Okay? Now, of course, we've all been here before with the show. When we came here last, maybe you were told to watch the skies for roving demons, or be wary when passing under trees, lest something foul drop upon your ugly frames. This time, however, boys, I'm going to ask you to watch where you step, as you may run afoul of the abattoir,
Oh,
which I always think sounds like abattoir.
it does.
They are just as dangerous. The abattoir are a race of little people from the southern reaches of the continent, and while it is a genuine, real abattoir tribe, we're dealing with the mythical beings for clarity. Now, I say little people. I
Yes.
hear you all asking, how little are we talking?
Yeah, how well?
Yeah, man. Have you got any units handy? If you could help.
5 millimeters tall.
Okay.
5
That's like
That
a
is small.
micro DeVito.
Yeah, it's adorable. That's what it is. It's in units that can only be expressed in adorable. That's right. They are a tribe of little dudes and ladies standing no higher than a half centimetre. They're so small, they hide under blades of grass and sometimes sleep in anthills. And on occasion, you might even see them riding around on ants. That's fun.
that's fun. Agreed.
They're a nomadic people, so they've got no central village.
Is it spelled with a G?
And they track
Well,
their
I
prey.
got there.
No, you got it on the end.
Slow burner on it.
know.
Second class stamp on it.
Like this episode, man. Fucking slow burner. So anyway, they've got no central village, so they track their prey on horseback. The entire village on a single... on this horseback, riding in single file from mane to tail. So riding along the spine of the horse in single file.
Right.
This is amazing.
I know. But if they cannot find or track their prey, they will devour the horse instead.
How long does it take them?
Tell you what, they're wee bastards, let me tell you.
Just one bite at a time, man.
They use tiny pronged spears tipped with a fast-acting poison to take down beasts with much greater size than their whole village combined. Exactly, just tiny wee spears like... and it's with that, of course, that the danger lies. So I'm going to do a little bit what we call role-playing right now with you guys.
Okay.
I'm going to do it. In fact, I'll tell you what, we'll pick someone at random, Jerry. I want you to imagine, Jabble, that you are walking through the African plains,
Right.
looking towards the mountains in the distance.
Ooh.
You know, a cool breeze providing short-lived respite from the blazing sun.
All right.
And suddenly, you hear a voice from the ground below. How are you? You fucking watch where you're going. It's a little dude. You're 5 millimeters tall, standing just next to your tan work shoes. What's wrong with you? Do you not see me here?
No, sorry, mate. So I didn't see you all the way down.
How do you know fucking... What? You didn't see me?
No, you're
You saying I'm wee?
no, it's you're wearing brown and it's brown ground and you know what I mean. I've got brown shoes.
I'm not
It's
wearing
difficult.
brown, mate. I'm black.
Oh, overstepped in here.
What have you stepped in? That's you. Indeed. The abattoir are a proud people, Jerry. A fierce, proud people who don't like the insinuation that they're wee.
All right.
And at this insult, they will poke you with a poisoned spear, killing you instantly. Many a man has made this mistake, Jerry. Don't be too saddened that you're going to believe in a widow behind on earth. You've got to basically bullshit them with a wee story.
Oh, I need to puff them up a wee bit.
You've got to say basically stuff like, and this is the examples I was reading online. Things like, oh, I saw you from miles away. I'm just ignorant. Or
You're
like,
big.
I saw you in between those mountains over there. You've got to really puff them up as if they're huge.
Blow smoke.
Basically, got to placate them. But if you do manage, maybe sometimes you will just stand on them. They're only wee. At the moment of their death, they will also prick you with their spears. So always make sure you've got thick-soled shoes when you're out in those African plains. But they're not all bad. They're not all bad. You know, as long as you placate them, as long as you're nice. They'll give good advice to humans when possible, and they don't mind being spotted by the young or pregnant women or wizards.
Cool. Sound.
Yep.
Yeah.
If a pregnant woman spots a male abattoir, it'll make sure that that baby is definitely going to be a boy.
Nice.
So there's something to consider, you know, in the future for you guys. But yeah, the abattoir, weird, and I think you'll agree, fun,
Fun little murderers.
A lot of fun.
fun little guys. So with that,
Yes, we're done. That's us locked in. Each of our beasts has been heralded into their different stables.
yep,
Whilst we decide upon who will be the winner
yeah,
of
indeed,
this mighty bout.
we'll take them with our Geshcast Supernatural Entertainment Pentacle system.
Yes.
We will decide which one of these beasts wins each category, and we'll let you know in turn who won which one.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Physical strength.
Strong enough to keep a whole city at bay. The Vavel Dragon.
Murderousness.
With 20,000 heads in his mantelpiece, and at least 1,200 of them from the world's first concentration camp, the Mackenzie Poltergeist takes murderousness.
Disgustery.
A half-blind monk digging up freshly rotted corpses, sticking them in a pile, then making a chandelier. Disgustery. Affluence.
Another word. The Vavel Dragon's reign was so horrific that its influence was felt throughout the land. An entire city was named after its slayer.
It's a wild card. Are you kidding me? A whole village riding on a big horse.
That is
That's
fun.
fun. The abattoir take fun.
So, there we go.
Yep.
The categories are in place. Our winners for each have been announced.
Mm-hmm.
The overall winner is ready.
Oh my goodness.
The question is, boys, are you ready?
I don't know.
What is real?
The Vavel Dragon is real.
There we go.
There we go.
Another excellent beast is added into
Off
our...
goes.
He's back.
He's away.
Heading
See you
back to
later.
Krakow to start his reign of terror afresh.
Bye.
Let's hope two new heroes can step forwards. Lech and Krakus 3.
Lech 2.
Let's do So there we go. One more beast enters the pantheon of the phantasmal and is being given real status.
A dragon as well.
Maybe a seven-headed
Keep
dragon.
your heads then.
We've got to remember that.
We've got to remember each of these.
Yeah.
Well,
In a Google Doc.
but we've got to remember that we've got a responsibility. We're bringing these things into the world.
No, we'll bring them into the world, but we're no longer responsible past that point. We're only choosing these beasts on behalf of our mysterious benefactor.
That is true. That is true. Okay, look, that's the mamas and the papas done.
Yeah.
We just now need to concentrate on having fun.
It's time for
Fun.
fun times.
The show is done. Let's have some fun.
Yes.
Way.
As they always say.
Let's put this downer cast to bed and have some fun.
Let's put this show down. Let's have the quiz.
Let's do it.
Now, the quiz, jokes provided by Halloween.com. Thank you, Halloween.com. And as ever, I'm going to provide you with the setups to some supernaturally charged jokes. All you've got to do is give me the correct answer. I'll also give you a point if your answer is better than the actual punch line. Real bottom of the barrel stuff. This
That's
time,
what I'm into.
people. So let's not get too excited. I feel that Halloween.com is kind of given up at this point when their list is a very long list of jokes.
Right.
So if you think you know the one where I feel they gave up the most and you get it right, I'll give you an extra point. So please say your name before answering. Let's try that out.
Philip.
Chris.
Jerry.
Perfect. And of course, give me the arse-slapping respect of letting me finish the setup before answering. Okay, so question 1. What is in a ghost's nose?
Jerry.
Jerry?
Is it boogies?
It's not boogies, no. It's very close.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Phil.
Yep.
Bogies.
It's not bogies, no. Christopher?
Boogeymen.
It's not boogeymen. It was
Boogeymen?
boogers.
That's good.
Okay. Question 2. What did the goblin say to the witch? What did the goblin say to the witch?
I feel like this might be the one they gave up. Extra gave up on.
Okay.
No.
Is it really tortured, this one?
Yes.
Yeah. Phil.
Yep.
I've got no body.
To go.
know.
Okay. What did the goblin say to the witch? Answer. I don't know. You tell me.
What?
Yeah.
Is this meta level jokes?
Yeah,
Jokes upon jokes.
sitting reading
You've
them
heard
going-
jokes before? Well, this is a joke.
Yeah, I was sitting reading them like, wait a minute, Halloween.com. Question 3. Why do ghosts like to ride elevators? Why do ghosts like to go in elevators?
Phil,
Uh-huh.
because they don't have to take the scares.
God, that's so bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I might even open that up to the floor when we get the actual answer. Anyone else? Why do ghosts like to ride elevators? It raises their spirits.
That's pretty good. I like
Yeah.
that.
Maybe it's better.
No, it wasn't.
No, rubbish.
Why did the vampire need mouthwash? Why did the vampire need mouthwash?
Chris.
Uh-huh.
Because he had bad breath. Blood breath.
You're so close.
Something.
Teeth breath.
You're very, very close. But it's not bad breath.
Bad death.
It's not bad death. You're so close.
Brad breath.
So he had Brad Pitt. Anyone?
Phil,
Mm-hmm.
he had corpse mouth.
Jesus. Why did the vampire need mouthwash? Because he had bat breath.
Oh,
Bat breath.
bad breath.
Jerry is ready for the corpse museum over there.
Corpse museum.
Finally, where do ghosts go out? Where do ghosts go out? Halloween.
Makes sense, the
Halloween.
question.
Halloween.com fucked us over this.
Phil, to the shopping arcade.
Anyone else?
To the movies.
Like, the cows go to the...
The boobies.
Where do ghosts go out? Answer.
Phil,
I don't know.
the
man.
butchers.
Fucking awful.
What was the pirate Simpson joke? It was a pirate's favourite Simpson.
Yeah. Bart and Marge Simpson.
So that's Bart and Marge. Like, fuck off. Where do ghosts go out?
Woman, the butchers.
It's wherever they can get booze.
Jesus, web. That's awful.
Halloween.com, that's the last time we'll be frequenting that website.
Halloween.geocities.com next.
Nobody wins the quiz this week, I'm afraid.
We all lost
Wow.
it.
Let's just take a wee moment to start.
Everyone lost.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, sorry, listener, or reader, you lost more than anyone. Do some quick, extra, additional mailbag.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, that's it.
Right now, we have a message from Mecha Gamezilla, who provided our ghost story at the end of the show last time, and I was so ignorant that I didn't say thanks on air for that.
Well, now we're saying thanks.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
It's a question. When I say daddy long legs, do you picture a spider, a fly, or your own father with long legs?
That's a good question. I like it.
Jerry?
A fly.
Said with such earnestness, I wish you could have really seen it.
Jerry just wants to go home, folks.
And finally, from Manly J Panda, he's asked, could Phil give me some life advice or an inspirational speech, please?
No.
Oh. If you want to get in touch with us, you can by sending us an email.
Geshcast@gmail.com.
If you want to send us a message on Twitter, you can at.
Geshcast.
If you want to get in touch with us on Facebook, you can.
Search for Geshcast Podcast.
That's the one. And of course, remember to rate, review, all that stuff on iTunes.
Yes.
At the end of this episode, you can also stay tuned for a real life spooky ghost story. So thank you, I guess.
Yeah. Look, man, I was only joking before when I said I had no inspirational speeches to give, because you all know I could talk for hours about inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
I mean,
Gav,
hell.
did you ever feel like a paper bag? No.
A wee bit.
Anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for coming and recording this podcast, because it's been real.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Live forever. Never ever die.
Sometimes I feel like a fat bastard.
Gavin.
Gav, you're not, you're beautiful.
I carry it well, I'm big.
Tune in next week for Sad Sack Podcast.
Downercast.
And until then, please remember, everybody,
Bite
the beef.
Whoa. Gavin, before we forget, who gave us the best question?
Well, look, we all spoke about it. We all chatted. We all formed a cabal, a coven. And we decided that the best question this week was provided by our good friend at Mecha Gamezilla. Based on Chris's little wry chuckle that he gave when the rest of the only laugh of the whole show. So because of that, he's going to receive our special Supernatural Entertainment System Junior Investigators kit, including exclusive pencil, so he can show everybody when he's out there taking notes in the field. They'll be like, is he a fucking junior? Is he a fucking junior investigator?
That's it. He's legit now.
He's
like
legit.
us. He's legit.
Exactly.
Well, he's a junior investigator. I mean, we're senior investigators.
Well, obviously.
He's on the path. He's on the path.
He's on the path.
He's on the way up.
He's on the ladder.
And including that, he'll receive a printed out copy of the rules that we adhere to when we're out in the field as well.
Good on him.
Including supernatural tips, what to do when you're confronted with certain beasts,
Mm-hmm.
how to spot certain beasts out in the wild.
He's one lucky little man.
One lucky man. So we will be in touch.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Once, there were two best friends, Ian and Graham, and they loved to play the Sony PlayStation 2. They would play so many games together, like iToy Pom Pom Party and FIFA 2006 World Cup. After school, they would race back to one of their homes and play games all night, taking breaks only to eat savoury Findus crispy pancakes. Now, Ian had a chipped Sony PlayStation 2, so he could play any game he wanted, but Graham wasn't into that. He believed that pirated games help support terrorism, and after all, he wouldn't steal a car now, would he? But sometimes he'd get jealous of Ian's massive games collection, all provided by his uncle who worked down the W.H. Smiths in town. The game everyone was looking forward to was Sex Ghost, the newest title from Rockstar Games. Now the boys knew that their parents would never let them play a game like that, but Ian's uncle was a drunk and a deviant, so he'd definitely give Ian a copy. But what about poor Graham? No shop would sell it to him, and his parents would hit the roof if he asked them for one, but he knew he needed it, because it was being advertised everywhere as the scariest and sexiest game ever made. Graham was left with two choices: either only play the game at Ian's house, or to get his Sony PlayStation 2 chipped so he too could masturbate while playing the game in the privacy of his room. Usually his morals would stop him, but the all-consuming libido of a teenager can cloud even the wisest of people, so Graham took his Sony PlayStation 2 down to the local market to get it chipped, but the stall that did it had closed. Graham was heartbroken. What would he masturbate to now? As he left the market, walking past the birthday card stall and the baby clothes stall and the sweeties stall, he notices a new stall, a mysterious stall. Peering closer, he saw a sign that said they fixed consoles, the hidden code for chipping the Sony PlayStation 2. The stall itself was hidden behind a thick velvet curtain. Graham plucked up his courage and walked in. Behind the curtain it was dark, and the only light was coming from an old CRT stuck between channels. The white noise from the screen was the only sound. At a desk, a man sat, unmoving, the light from the TV reflecting in his eyes. Graham could feel waves of menace and evil radiating from the still figure, and he turned to go. "Stay, Graham. I know why you have come." "How do you know my name?" Graham whispered. "It's not important. What is important is making sure that your Sony PlayStation 2 is chipped so you can play your sex game. Give it here." Graham felt afraid, but he also felt aroused at the mere mention of Sex Ghost. He handed over the console, his Sony PlayStation 2. The stall owner ran his filthy hands over the matte black plastic, feeling for where he'd make his incision. Suddenly, he flipped the console over, unscrewed the casing, and started his evil work. Graham tried to tear his eyes away, but he couldn't. In what felt like a second, it was all over. Graham had the Sony PlayStation 2 back in his hands. How much?" he stammered. The man behind the counter leaned forward and smiled slowly. "There is no charge. You've already paid with your morals." He leaned back into the darkness, his eyes glowing. Graham ran all the way home, worried that he'd made the wrong decision. He ran upstairs and into his room, plugged the console in, and tried the first game that came to his hand. Thankfully, Operation Winback loaded up first time, smooth as always. The next day at school, Ian and Graham were talking, and Graham tried to casually bring up getting a copy of Sex Ghost. Ian was shocked to find that Graham, his honourable friend, had succumbed to chipping his prized Sony PlayStation 2, but he said he'd ask his uncle, his drunken uncle, for a spare copy. The wait for Sex Ghost was unbearable, but soon the boys had their copies. At school they kept checking their bags to make sure the games were still there, and at lunch they nervously flicked through the photocopied manual, reading about the controls and the characters. They could barely hide the excitement they felt in their young bodies. Finally, it was home time, and rather than both going to one of their houses, the boys split, each heading to their own homes, to enjoy the sexiest game ever made. Graham ran up the stairs, threw his door open, and put the pirated game into his chipped Sony PlayStation 2. He turned the TV on and grabbed his hidden stash of toilet roll from under the bed. The game came on, and it was even more explicit than he'd been expecting, and the graphics really took advantage of the power of the Sony PlayStation 2. But something was wrong. Graham wasn't getting an erection. I must be tired, thought Graham. I'll go for a nap. Graham tried to sleep, but his dreams were confusing and a little scary. Over and over again, he dreamt that his teeth were falling out, and as they fell, they knocked his penis off, and that his teeth were also penises. After an hour of trying to sleep, Graham tried to play again, but he wasn't getting even a whiff of a stoner. It must be the game, he thought. Graham nipped downstairs and called Ian to see how he was doing. After a few rings, Ian came to the phone. He sounded exhausted. "How are you enjoying the game?" asked Graham. Oh man, said Ian. "I'm absolutely raw. You?" Graham was crestfallen. Oh, yeah, me too. I better go and get back to the wanking," said Graham, and he hung up. All night he played the game, and not a single twinge from his member. After a long and sleepless night, he decided to go back to the market. Maybe the game wasn't displaying properly, because he chipped it. The market was packed, but he made his way towards the mysterious stall from before, and he was relieved to see it was still there. He pulled back the curtain and went inside. Again it was dark, the only light coming from the TV screen. "You need to help me. I don't think the console's working properly." "What do you mean?" The chipping process was perfect. Graham blushed. "But I've been playing Sex Ghost and I can't get a stiffy. It has to be the Sony PlayStation 2. The man sat, unmoved. Suddenly he leaned forward, grabbing Graham's hand. "You came in here and gave up your morals to chip your beautiful and powerful Sony PlayStation 2 so you could defile countless meters of toilet roll. What you will come to realise is that without morals, you don't deserve to have a sweet hard-on. Piracy is a crime, and crime is way uncool." Graham ran from the market, tears streaming down his face. He would never pirate another game again, but sadly, the damage was already done. This is a true story.